I was pumping gas, most definitely, and printing T-shirts and selling ink pens, and anything and everything. There was a guy who I worked with many years ago, and we were talking about success and money and all that stuff. And he told me this one thing. He said, money doesn't change anybody. Money reveals them. Same thing with success, and I believe that, wholeheartedly. I'm still exactly the guy that used to pump gas, I'm still the guy that was a mechanic for a minute, I'm still, exactly. I just happen to have a weirder job at the moment.
If we could celebrate every breath that we take, because nothing's a guarantee. If we could celebrate the breath and the exhale, which is being alive, without, my car won't start. There are things that are very, very important in life that we don't think about, And one of the most worrisome things that I went through for years is you're freaked out about your past. You're worried, you're scared to death of the future, but the now doesn't exist. And I think that's a grave mistake that we make.
By the time you were 15, that you had lived in 20 different homes, is that true?
My mom liked to move a lot. A lot.
A lot?
Yeah. One time we moved from one house to the house next door.
So how do you adjust? How do you get to be, if you're going in a different school all the time?
It was kind of normal. We didn't know anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, it was kind of normal. I moved to Los Angeles in 1983,
mm-hmm.
and was basically an unemployed musician. And a buddy of mine, Nicolas Cage, I was filling out job applications, and Nick suggested that I meet his agent because he felt I should be an actor.
Why?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Still don't know.
Okay. But no, so you'd never seriously thought about it until Nicolas Cage mentioned it.
Yeah, and for me, it was really just, I just thought, well, at this point, I'll do anything. I just got to pay the rent, I was on the verge of being evicted.
So you consider yourself lucky?
Very lucky, yeah.
But you have to have talent to meet the luck, right?
Somebody hands you the ball, and you run, and if you get hit, you get hit, or maybe you make it through. You never know. But, I just know that somebody handed me the ball at a certain point, and I was hungry enough to keep running, and I'm still running. I maintain a hunger, but not an ambition.
You went to play music when you quit school. You didn't go to become an actor.
I started playing the guitar at the age of 12. Yeah, it was the first real passion that I had. So I literally don't remember going through puberty because I locked myself in a room at the age of 12, 13, and just played the guitar, learned things off records, and taught myself how to play. And it was my life. And it was the only solace. It was the only sanctuary. It was the only security. It was my first love.
You have to realize that whatever your day is, whatever you're doing, whatever your job is, whatever people think of you or project you to be, none of it matters, really, until you look round and see people who are in need. And I think probably the best benefit of my job is to help to make people smile who otherwise wouldn't or couldn't have a smile on their face. So, yeah, that's my deal. To go into a place where, I spent time in Great Ormond Street, where it was, I was the parent when my daughter was ill, and it was, I've known darkness in my life, but that was the darkest period ever. I'd always kind of done these visits, but after that, the visits became more and more important because the kids, bless them, they're so strong, they're so courageous, but the parents are the ones who are slowly dying. And to be able to bring a smile or a giggle to these people is, it means everything in the world to me.
Do you look back and say, look, I did what I wanted to do. It's defining of me.
There were other things that I probably should have done, not from my perspective. From my point of view, I did the right things. Every film that I've done, I'm happy that I made that choice. I don't have any regrets whatsoever.
Most people would say that if you wanted to be a leading man in a traditional way, it was yours there for the taking, and you didn't want that.
I think any actor, given a certain amount of success or given a certain amount, somebody hands you the ball, you run with it. Any actor could do that. But it's not me. It wasn't me. I was on a television series for 3 or 4 years, about 4 seasons. And I was, without question, a product. Not my own product. That was somebody else's product. And they shoved me down the throats of America, and it was a very uncomfortable situation. And I swore to myself that when I got off that show, I would do what I wanted, the way I wanted to do it. And I stick to that. So, I mean, if I had to do leading man things just to continue to be an actor, continue to work, nah, I'd rather go back to pumping gas.
What do you think when you look at those pictures? Really, what do you think?
No, it was a strange time because I'd become this product, and it made me very uncomfortable. Yeah, because I
Being sort of labeled a heartthrob.
Well, they just started to build this image, and it had nothing to do with me.
And no one should accept anything but the truth. To have to suffer the ignorance of someone lying to you for some type of gain. And
You've never seen any of your films, ever?
I tried to see one once because the director asked me to. I fell asleep 35 times. I feel the experience. I'm happy with the process is what I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. The process of creating, the process of exploring, the process of breaking formula.
Damaged characters are more interesting because that's what's great about the work. Everybody's damaged. Everyone's damaged on some level. And I'm fascinated with human behavior. I'm fascinated with the flaws of the human being. I mean, I'm just fascinated. It's a strange thing because the greatest thing you can do as an actor, I think, is to be an observer. And at a certain point, something bizarre happens. You're not able to observe in public anymore because everyone is observing you. So that's a kind of danger. Since May 27th, when my daughter was born, I have been floating. I smile constantly, which I never did before.
And you never imagined you would have it this kind of...
No, you can never, everybody tells you and you know what they're experiencing, it's going to be something, sublime, but no, you just don't, you can't imagine it until it actually happens. When you see this little angel arrive, she's everything, the baby's everything. It's so amazing, my little family, it's unbelievable. It's, I don't know, it's the only thing that's ever happened, really, the only. Everything else is smoke.
What were you worried when you turned 50?
No, it was like, it was just a wake up. It's another day, and everybody makes a deal about, the idea of, 50, half a century and stuff like that. It felt like 40 to me. It just felt like another decade, really,
I mean, both grown-ups and kids love him so much. What is it about him, you think, that makes...
Well, for one, I think he's a major talent. 2, he's awesomely good looking. 3, he's not like most people we know. There is something offbeat about him that is intriguing and ultimately attractive.
There's something magical about him. My kids call him Uncle Fun, and he is, when you are with him, you are pretty certain that nobody else is having as good a time as you are.
I came here for you, the people, who, through whatever good times or bad, have stood by me, trusted me. Thank you. And you all, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I love you too.